This is the brother in the hood. And just about everybody in this room, African American, Latino, even white, you're really not pure anything. Okay? We're one big, diverse family.
I have described racism as a system of structuring opportunity and assigning value based on so-called race. Well, what are the impacts of this system? Well, when we do talk about racism at all in this country, we go to understanding that it unfairly disadvantages some individuals and communities. But it doesn't take very long to recognize that every unfair disadvantage has its reciprocal unfair advantage, so that racism is also unfairly advantaging other individuals and communities. And that's the whole issue of unearned white privilege that we hardly ever talk about. It's hard, but I'm actually going to give you some tools tonight for us to be talking about that too.
One of the things that sort of stood out to me immediately talking was how deeply embedded racism is in the actual geography of the United States. It's literally printed into the geography.
White privilege. Many people have been told all our lives in every way not to recognize it. Because white is normal. It's normal. What's your experience in Greg is normal? And from the time you were a little kid, you were told you could do anything you wanted.
I found myself as a black man in America who was offered some privilege, or at least I thought, to work at the White House, to carry a gun, to wear a signet, a badge. And I found myself one evening driving home. And even though I did all this and I had all these things, when those blue lights showed up behind me, y'all ain't never experienced that. As big as I am, and as bad as I was, I got scared.
I'm not going to ask anybody to raise your hand, but if you are a person of color, or maybe not so a person of color, okay, and you have these ideas, these thoughts about racism, if you're a policymaker, if you're a manager, if you're in any kind of decision-making position, and you go to your superiors, or even think about going to the big man to start a conversation, to start a dialogue, raise your hand or think about whether or not you're fearing for your job.
And our problem here in America is really not diversity. We really don't need more diversity because we are all walking diversity. What we need is justice.
Time for talk is over. Time to do.